that a cowboy who was out for months or weeks on end would eat as a last resort kind of food. In South Africa, it tends to be something of a delicacy. I enjoy it very much, I must say. But the other sort of odd thing that South Africans tend to eat that no one else in the world eats is a rusk. Now, a rusk basically is, I think its origins are as a stale form of sweet bread, basically, with a consistency of leadwood, so that it is impossible to consume unless you have dipped it thoroughly in whatever hot beverage you're drinking. And you better hope that beverage is really hot, because if it isn't, not even the liquid will get through the rusk. The Italians came up with something a bit more sophisticated and easier to eat called a biscotti, but the rusk comes from, I think, the Great Trek, if I'm not mistaken, where the Boers were traveling about the place in their ox wagons and weren't availed of much in the way of kitchens. And so they made this kind of dense, hard, stale, sweet bread. And that's what they kind of nibbled on throughout the day. Now, I don't think it's much surprise that most of them had lost their teeth by the time they were put in the ground. But biltong is a slightly more impressive South African tradition, and certainly I think it's come a long way since the days of the Great Trek. And it's now spiced and really nicely prepared. So we eat quite a lot of it here. Right, while I rattle on about the culinary oddities that are South Africa, Brent has some very exciting news, so we're going to cross quickly across to him.
Welcome back, guys. I just got a report from the guys in Arathusa that the wild dogs have made a kill right in front of the lodge. So I'm trying to get there as fast as possible at the moment, so just hang on. I've nearly lost Andrew a couple of times on these big Arathusa bumps, but we're nearly there. Nearly there. So we've just arrived, and the Nick, apparently I think we're a little late. They've already killed the impala. But Andrew, just have a quick look. There's a hippo playing King of My Castle off to the right. We are now popsicles from the speed we have traveled to get here. But we are here, and that's what counts. Thank you! So they've just moved off after killing the impala. They're somewhere around us. So, eyes open, Andrew. The last one just disappeared as we arrived. Can't see. Oopsie. keeping a careful lookout. Hey, firm. Copy, thanks. So Doug's staying with us. He's checking down there. We're going to check here. I can't see any tracks on the road. We're giving our eyes peeled. Been running down this big path here. I'm just going to check this road up ahead. Negative. Copy, thanks. Checking these big animal parts. Copy, I'm heading up that way now. So the general direction seems to be east towards the airstrip. I'm not sure which pack it is yet. As soon as we find them, we can try to figure out what's going on, who they are. Whether it's the big half-tail pack or the smaller investic pack that we saw a couple of days ago. I don't think they've gone this far. I've got no tracks, so we're going to loop back. They have gone into quite a thick area. Hoping they're just going to appear around the corner. Well, we are starting to thaw out slightly after our high-speed race to get here. Andrew, where are those eagle eyes? I think they've gone further south, so we're going to zoom out of here, away from this drainage line. negative, Doug. I've relocated just at the pump house. I've got just that looks like the alpha female. She's on that road. I'm not sure what the road is that comes past the pump house. So guys, we found them. It looks a very pregnant female, but again, I can only see one now. I'm just gonna have to try to stick with her. She looks like she's lost the pack. You can see how red her face is there. They've just made a kill. But when they are like this, they can kill more than once in the morning. So we're definitely gonna stick with them. You're going to have to hang on. Oh no, we're not going to get through there. She's gone into a really thick Tumbuiti thicket. There's no chance of us being able to drive through there. So I'm going to try and get around. I think the best option is to go around. So obviously, over the camera, the speed we're traveling looks a lot faster than it really is. But the thing is, with an animal like wild dogs, you have to keep up with them. As you can see, we just had that brief glimpse. Now she's gone to an area we can't follow. And I'm going to try and get around to see if the rest of the pack's not maybe come through here. She is heading sort of in a southerly direction. Going to see now. Louis coming. Yeah, Louis, she went into those Tumbuiti thickets heading south on the edge of the drainage. I've gone back to the driveway. I'm going to try stand by and see if she comes out again. Thanks very much. Thanks.
Tiger just ran across the road.
I saw that there's just a bunch of alarm calls here. This is more or less the line we lost her in. Squiz in here where those squirrels are alarm calling. Hi Brenda from Virginia, welcome on quite an exciting sunrise safari. Brenda would like to know, can you hear them feeding, or do they usually drag the kill away? Well, Brenda, they don't. They have quite a different method. You can hear them feeding. You hear a whole bunch of high-pitched giggles and squeaks, almost. Not so much giggles as high-pitched squeaks. Get into here quickly, Brenda. And when they feed, they actually sort of engulf. They eat very quickly. and even a small pack of 5 or 6 individuals can finish a whole impala in under 10 minutes. A big pack of sort of 10 or so will finish a whole impala in under 5 minutes. So I'm just going to turn off and listen for a second. Sometimes when they get separated, they do this really, well, I find it very pretty, it's called a who call to each other to try to figure out whether. Just hang on, sorry, last station, go again. Copy, thanks. I cannot relocate on that single Madasha. I'd like to join you there. Copy, thanks. So the rest of the pack's been spotted just over there. So it looks like that the female got separated. And as I was saying, they do this very, very cool, I find it very pretty. Are we behind us, Andrew? Call when they which is they call it a woo call, and that's to contact each other. And it goes, I'll try to do my best impression of it now. Let me just get out of this little drainage line. And that call is the woo call goes, and they do that quite often when they have been separated, and that's their contact call, so they can find each other. Again, guys, sorry about the speed, but if we don't move, the chances of seeing those animals again are very, very slim. No, negative. Let's go this way. It'll be faster. So you just go at which junction on Zebra Drive again? Sorry. On the airstrip. Copy, thanks. Sorry about this, guys. They're moving again, so change direction. Oh, I'm gonna get really big arms from this morning. From Boston. I hope you're holding on tight. Marianne would like to know, she read somewhere that wild dogs are the most efficient hunters and are the most humane at killing their prey. Sure, Marianne, that's an interesting one. A lot of people actually consider it the opposite. I'm not so sure. They are by far the most efficient hunters we see out here. Lion, leopard, all have a range of between sort of 12 and 20% success rates at hunts, whereas wild dogs in certain areas can go over 80%. So 8 out of 10 times that they chase something, they catch it. Where lion, 1.5 out of 10 times that they chase something, they catch it. And wild dogs have got quite a brutal method of killing. This is where we saw that female, so they've changed direction and gone that way now. So they basically just latch on and quite often will start ripping off chunks of flesh when the animal's still alive. there's a lot of discussion on whether those animals go into shock quite quickly, so maybe they're not feeling anything at that stage already. But it is a debate. We always think of things as sort of humane or not humane, but we must remember this is the wild. So what things that we might not consider humane are natural, and that's just the way nature works, unfortunately. And sometimes it's quite difficult for us to see, but it is nature taking its course. So they're somewhere around here now. I'm just trying to not throw Andrew off on these large bumps. Chris, welcome on Sunrise Safari. Chris would like to know how far can wild dog travel in a day? Incredible distances, Chris, 20 kilometers plus. They have massive home ranges. I'm going to be back with you guys in a second. I just need to use the game drive radio. I'm on Zebra Drive. I can see someone Gonzo heading off-road. Confirm that was you.
Straight ahead, Brent.
Okay, copy, I've got the visual, thank you. Here we go, we found them again. Exciting times now. See how difficult it is to follow wild dogs. They change direction constantly and they move at such speed through the bush. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So looks like it is possibly the Investec pack with that pregnant female that we just saw. Wait, how many are there? Oh, isn't that amazing? No, this is a big pack. There's more than 5. This could be half-tail pack. And they're all greeting now. They've just reunited. So obviously they got split. And now there's very big greeting ceremonies and reuniting. Oh, one got a fright. There we go, there's a tiny piece of meat there. Looks like they might have even made a second kill while we've been running around. So, incredibly social animals. One of the most social animals, and very interesting habits. And they're one of the only animals, apart from human beings, that put the young higher on the social hierarchy than other animals, which is an incredible thing. And for those of you who knew, we are sitting live with the second most endangered canid in Africa. There are only estimated a maximum of about 4,500 left in the wild, and probably about between 400 and 500 in the greater Kruger area, which is one of the few viable breeding populations left. And even though they've already killed an impala this morning, a big pack like this, I think it is the half-tail pack, can often kill 2 to 3 animals in a morning or in an afternoon. And we're going to try and keep with them, but following them through the bush sometimes can be quite difficult. So beautiful, beautiful markings. This is by far my most favorite animal, the African wild dog or painted wolf. The Latin name is Lichen pictus, which basically translated directly means painted wolf. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if this is the half-tail pack, 8. There should be about 14 or 15 if I remember correctly. The alpha female is still not present, so that's maybe why they're not moving off so quickly. And if we're lucky, they might start doing some of that wonderful woo calling I was chatting about a little bit earlier. And it's not unusual for the dog pack to get split up when they're hunting and chasing things, because they move at such incredible pace. Standing by. Over him, I'll try and stick with him. Copy, thank you very much. Is there any other stations making their way here? I'm going to try my best to keep with them, but it can be quite difficult. Head. They're heading sort of northwest through the block from Zebra Drive. Trying to stay with them. Oh, here we go. This is when it gets interesting. Has he seen something? That looks like ears up, heads up. Oh no, not into the monkey orange thickets. Trying our best to stay with them. Still got them to slow down again a bit. Thankful for me. Change direction again. Hold on. Oops. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to concentrate on staying with them for the moment. This is quite interesting what they're doing. What are they? They're checking out old burrows and stuff here. So this is very interesting behavior. They could be looking for a den site. With how heavily pregnant that female is now, you can see this one off to the left here. Andrew's actually got its head down in a hole, and they're possibly checking for suitable den sites. So with wild dogs, only the alpha pair breed, and the rest of the pack, their entire existence is bringing those puppies to adulthood. And they will regurgitate for them. Hopefully don't fall into a hole. There's too many holes around here. And you keep an eye on them while I've got my eyes off. Okay. Just going to try to find a way that I'm not going through all those aardvark excavations are, because then we could get stuck. That don't like leaving the dogs or being too far away from them, especially in this type of bush. So you can see they've changed direction. They've literally gone north, south, east and west since we've been with them. And this is what makes them so difficult to track and to stay with. Well, thanks very much, George Aaron from Illinois. It says half-tails 13 and we've got 8 here. So they still excavate. There's a lot of aardvark excavations here that they're checking out. And as I said, they've now just changed direction again and are running back east. No time for photography when you're following wild dogs. Also, one of the interesting things, you got to try park in a manner that you can turn around quickly in case they do change direction again, which they just have. Kudu, welcome! Following African wild dogs live through the African bush on Arathusa Private Game Reserve. 23 Kudu would like to know whether it's true that wild dogs often start feeding on their prey while they're still alive. That is very true, Kudu. They do. And that's why quite often it's been considered that wild dogs are very brutal. And in the old days, can you believe it, when they founded the Kruger National Park, not only wild dogs but lions and hyenas and all predators were shot on sight by the rangers to protect all the zebras and impalas and things. So it's amazing how times have changed, and we now aim to conserve these incredible predators. Trying to get through here again, there's quite a few holes. Gap, 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 where's the gap? Hi Joan from Arkansas. Joan would like to know who are the main predators of the African wild dog. Joan, basically all other predators, but basically the biggest threat to wild dogs from other animals is lions. Lions kill quite a lot of wild dogs. And wild dogs are not big fans of lions for that very reason. So, still can't see if the whole pack is. Yeah, it's quite difficult. They're very spread out through the brush. But see how many you can count, Andrew. I've got it. Most I've got so far is 8. But I haven't seen the alpha female again since we had that first brief visual of her. They're taking me through some terrible bush this morning. Why don't you guys like running down roads? very exciting wild dog sighting that we're just trying to stay with them. Brenda would like to know whether that alpha female, the first one we saw by herself, looked pregnant. Yes, Brenda, very heavily pregnant. I'm guessing she's going to drop pups in the next couple of weeks, and it's always an exciting time, and we're all really keeping our fingers crossed that one of the two packs of dogs we see in this area decides to den where we have access to them, because then we have them literally on tap for a month or so. So I'm going to try to squeeze through this very narrow little gap between the trees. There we go. We've changed direction so many times this morning, I think I might be lost. Nah, just joking. What's cereal? Quite kind of them to go out into a road. They are heading towards the road. Give us a little bit of a break from the bundu bashing. I know a lot of you guys get worried that we might be damaging trees or bushes and stuff while we go. When we do drive over them, we try to straddle them, which means that they will pop up after we've driven. We also drive over, we don't ever drive over the slow-growing species or rare species, and fortunately a bit more open around here. And the other thing is that us bashing through the bushes actually probably does less than I've heard of elephants moving through. Fine, thanks. And back onto a road. The road we started on. So what? So there they are, they're smelling. Smelling something there, they might scent mark. So there is another pack that comes into this area called the Investec pack. It's a much smaller pack, and what's happened is this pack actually killed two members of that smaller pack earlier in the year to the south of us. Oh, only giving me a little bit of a chance to breathe. So the Investec pack that we were actually following with James on Juma a couple of days ago, and this is the guessing the half-tail pack being this many number. 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. There's 5 missing. Sniffy sniffies. No, don't. So miraculously we have managed to avoid flat tires. Unfortunately our aerial's a bit wobbly, so Andrew is trying to fix that at the moment. I'm just hoping these dogs don't move off too far. Don't go in there, that's even thicker than where we've just come from. So definitely sniffing, and I think the half-tail pack might have been in this area a few days ago. So that's maybe what they're sniffing. Hi Deb from Ohio. Deb would like to know, are we seeing the same female as we saw the other day, or do both packs have pregnant females? Deb, both packs have pregnant females, so it's a different female. So they're milling on. It's quite possible the other pack scent marked in this area, and that's why there's been quite a prolongated sniffing in this section. Definitely going to try to stay with them, because we might, if they meet up with other members of the pack, it'll be a really nice greeting ceremony. And as I said, a pack this size will often need to kill more than one impala a day, so or hunt. Oh dear, don't go that way. Here we go. So a bit of calm after the pandemonium. Hi Cheryl. Cheryl would like to know, do wild dogs hunt at night? Cheryl, wild dogs are mostly crepuscular. Crepuscular means most active at dusk and dawn, but they have been known to hunt at night as well. It's just normally they hunt dusk and dawn, and on full moon nights they have been known to hunt as well. Sorry Cheryl, I'm just trying to make sure we don't get left behind again. I can see 4 dogs at the moment, 5. Lots of sniffing going on around here. I just love the colours and the patterns on their coats. Now, if we look at their tails, you've got that nice, very distinct white tip to the tail, or white, more than a tip. So when they do kill something, their heads are down and they're eating. Those tails set up as antennas for the other members of the pack to try to bring them in, and they all make those high-pitched giggles and squeaks. There we go. They're literally less than a foot from us now. They run past the vehicle, and the reverse. Find a spot to turn. Yeah, it's good. Looks like they're going to be slightly more accommodating. No, don't turn. We're just going to stand like this because they're changing direction a bit. We've got one dog. It's better than no dog. Hi Rena, welcome on the Sunrise Safari. Rena would like to know, how many pups does a wild dog normally deliver? Rena, there've been recorded over 20 pups in a single litter, but generally they are big litters because there's a very high mortality rate. So anything from sort of 10 to 20 is not considered abnormal. Don't go into the quarries. Of course you're going to go into the quarries. Hold on guys, off we go again. Nice of them if they stick on an elephant path, slightly easier to follow. There is a drainage line coming up that I'm a little bit nervous about if they go into there, whether I'm going to be able to stay with them. You got any visual, Andrew?
Negative.
Like going through this drainage line, I'm hoping I can find a spot to cross. Looks quite steep though. Hold on. Hopefully I don't have to call James to come find me. I don't think I would ever be forgiven for that. Oh, about that.
Okay, copy, thank you. Hello everybody, I believe you're back with us. We're looking at a green thorn tree, which is not quite as exciting as the wild dogs you've been chasing with old brother Brent over there. I'm sure that was very exciting. Unfortunately, what's happened is I think he's gone into a drainage line chasing the pack, and that's resulted in his signal being lost. Sorry about that. We will go back to him as soon as we can, but until then I'm afraid you're going to be stuck with me for a little while, but so be it. We have just come into this area not specifically to look at a Balanites tree, because that would be insane, but there have been some kudu alarm calling quite close to here, and so we're in the area trying to just see if we can't find what they've been looking at. This is the area that we saw those female leopard tracks heading into, and so that's why we're around here. Here we go. If Brent does get sight of those dogs again, we'll probably go straight back to him. Sorry, if the satellites get sight of Brent rather than Brent gets sight of the dogs. Animals here on Juma today. We found very little, and there seems to be quite a lot of shouting and a streperous conduct by the kudu around the place, but we can't see. Aubrey is currently looking at the kudu. We can't see what they're looking at or what's making them so upset. You will be pleased to know that it has warmed up quite a lot. I've taken off Brent's one scaffy glove. Which he very kindly lent to me. So we're just going to slowly drive through this area and see what we can hear. The kudu have stopped calling. It would seem that our friend Brent is, in his enthusiasm to find the wild dogs, may have got himself stuck. This, of course, will fill me with a great deal of mirth when I get home and ask him, because he has accused me of being the worst driver he's ever come across. But it is a bit of a pity as far as chasing the dogs is concerned, so let's hope he gets out quickly. I'm sure he will. Let's just make a clever decision as to where to go here. I think we need to go a little bit this way, which is to the west. Just keep an eye out for tracks. Seem to be anything calling at the moment. Let's go on to the top of the hill here and then turn off and have a listen. So we'll just have a look and a listen here. Nothing but a very peaceful silence, I'm afraid. Can't even hear a bird. Right, I think we're going to turn around. Go back the way slightly. On the road, probably quite possibly the lonely bull we saw this morning. They'll travel very widely during the night in their quest for green grass. Good news is that Brent is out of the drainage line, but there's still no signal at the moment. So as soon as we can, we'll send you back to him and the dogs. I don't think he's got the dogs at the moment, but no doubt he will find them. In the United States of America, you'd like to know would you like to know if wild dogs would ever accept a domestic dog into the pack? The answer is definitely not, no. They're a different species, they're a different genus, and they would more than likely kill a domestic dog. Domestic dogs come from the wolf, so they're much more closely related to wolves. The distance between them and wild dogs is actually quite high, and certainly wild dogs wouldn't accept a jackal into the pack, although I say that there is an example at an incredible camp in Botswana called Mombo, where a wild dog female on her own, she seems to have lost the rest of her pack, does in fact live with a pair of black-backed jackals. So that's quite interesting. And at one stage there was even a hyena that used to hang around them. Interaction that. Dogs, we've got Brent, we have signal. I'll see you later.
Welcome back, everyone, great joy and success after Andrew and I managed to maneuver ourselves out of the drainage line where we happened to have 2 wheels off the ground with a little bit of strategic rock placement and strategic Andrew on the bonnet. We've managed to find the wild dogs again, and they're on a road. Joy! But again, change direction. They're now going west or northwest. Stations relocated. The Madash, they are heading at the moment straight west down parallel. Sorry, Krish, they're mobile. Just stand by when they've come to the junction with Zebra Drive. They're parallel junction Zebra Drive, heading towards Knobthorne. Copy, I'm the only station here. You can make your way. They're mobile towards Knobthorne open area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we haven't picked up any more. Hello, puppies! Thank you for not running too far while I was stuck in the drainage line. They're coming up to an open area. There is a possibility there might be some impala out on that open area. So they're definitely still on the hunt. Not all of them have blood on their faces. So not all of them have eaten this morning. And that is the thing about a large pack of wild dogs. And because they use so much energy, they need to eat a lot and regularly. Which way they're going. There's a vehicle trying to get you. Stations are now Pipeline Road, but general direction is northwest. We're just taking a chill pill. The rest are all running off ahead. No. Just taking a quick break in the cool sand. Then we'll catch up. All this is going to be fun. They're going to play. See that there? All of a sudden. Oh no, don't go fast like that, guys. Not through the thickets. So you just see that ears flat and decided to start stalking another member of the pack. They have such a distinct smell, that sort of musty. It's a cross between a wet dog and a moldy cupboard. What do you think, Andrew? Yes. Cross between a wet dog and a moldy cupboard is what a wild dog smells like to me. It's actually, strangely enough, a lot of people think that's quite a horrific smell, but the smell gets me really excited. So I'm actually wondering, and obviously this is just speculation, that the female had a nice big meal. She looked like she'd eaten. Her face was covered in blood. And they're not doing those woo calls. Hey guys, I've just got a lot of chatter in that ear, and the guys are trying to get into this sighting. I'm just going to call. Smelling possibly another scent mark here. So the game drive radio is very loud. I'm just trying to get a gap here. My dash are now on Buff Skull south, heading north. Standing by. Hey, if I can, I will. Copy all the. I'll stay with them as long as possible. So that's one of the other guides is making a joke. It's not a big secret that wild dogs are by far my most favorite animal, and he's saying, "Are you going to stay the whole day there, Brent? Just stay with them the whole day, and then we can find them again this afternoon." So as I was saying, it's speculation, but the fact that the alpha female and some of the other pack members haven't joined, and she went into that drainage line, and they're not doing any contact calls or woo calling. They're seriously marching around and scent marking. Oh, look at that one having a nice little lie down in the cool sand, and sort of patrolling almost. And the fact that there aren't some other dogs here, I'm really hoping where she's gone into that drainage line, she might have found a den site, and they might be excavating and checking there, while this lot make sure that there are no other wild dogs in the area and just checking the perimeters. I mean, massive home ranges of up to 45 square kilometers full. So it's quite interesting, and a lot of the research papers and stuff that I've read on wild dog and my own observations over the years, that when a new pack forms, it's very important to watch how they rest together. So if we have a look in the road, there's a whole pile of them now lying up in the road, and they all lie very, very close to each other in the majority of the time. And what that means is that it's a very close-knit pack, and in terms of new packs forming, packs that do not lie when they rest very close to each other have almost 70% less chance of becoming a successful pack than packs that lie close to each other. And that's when new packs are forming, so there are only 2 or 4 animals in those packs. Just move a little closer. So, a little info from Georgianne. Thanks very much. It says, if this is the half-tailed pack, we're missing the floppy-eared member. That is very true. And as I said, there are only 8 dogs here, but we have seen another dog well down near the Arathusa lodge itself, and she was the pregnant female, so the alpha. And it's possible that the other members of the pack might be with her, and they might be looking for a den site in that area and excavating while the rest sort of scope out the rest of the territory around here. Checking scent marks and stuff, and still hunting. They could definitely eat again, and even though you can see there's a little bit of blood around this one closest to us, around his face, but they will let the alpha feed first, especially while she's pregnant, and if she begs, they'll even regurgitate the food they've already eaten and give it to her. I'm just going to update the vehicles quickly to where they're lying down. The stations on my dash are now lying up on Buff Skull South, about 200 meters from the junction with Pipeline. Sorry, last station, go again. Copy, thanks. I'm not reading you very well, but make your way. There's only one station here. Copy, thanks. Hi, Colleen from Winnipeg. Colleen would like to know, do wild dogs only have one den, or do they have multiple dens like hyenas? They have multiple dens, and for the same reasons that hyenas and a lot of other species will have multiple dens, it's due to the parasites like fleas, that when they become too bad in one den, they will move to another. So they do have multiple dens. They are such amazing animals. So there's quite a few different reasons why they are so heavily threatened and endangered at the moment. One being the fact that they need such massive home ranges, ideally, and there's very few parts of Africa where you have those mass areas that animals are able to roam free in. And oh no, here we go again. Maybe not, we'll see now. And the other is that they're so prone to disease, especially domestic dogs' disease. What have you seen? Just checking. Things like canine distemper and rabies, and because they are such tight-knit communities and such a social animal, those diseases spread through the pack very quickly. And also they were persecuted very heavily by the first European settlers because of the way they killed and because they are such efficient hunters. Looks like they're taking a break. I'm hoping that they're going to decide to rest here for the day, or in this area. I think they might move as the sun moves. Hi, Pammy from Seattle. Pammy would like to know, what does the pack do when the female gives birth? Because they travel so fast and so quickly, do they stay in the area and look after her? Pammy, that's when it becomes much easier to see wild dogs, is when they do den, because they become, for once, tied down to a certain area for a short time. And that is the time where you do get to see wild dogs a lot and regularly. And where are you off to now? And they will go off and hunt and kill. And while the female is unable to leave the den, oh, look at that, there we go. A little bit of playing. That's not a good sign for us. It means we're on the road again. But they will make their way back to the female constantly. Okay. And off they go. This is why I like them so much. They're not like lions and leopards that sleep so long. They're constantly on the go, and it looks like they've chosen a slightly nicer area this time, up on a crest. So a bit easier for us to follow. A bit. So they might not move as quickly as they were until they spot something, and then it's full speed ahead again. So they might be making their way back to where the alpha is. Big stump in the grass we didn't see. Oh boy, there we go again. Jumped onto something. Let me just have a quick look. Looks like we've just, in the long grass there's a big stump, and we've just sort of perched on top of it, so I'm just going to try and work our way off it. Unfortunately, for the second time today, I'm going to say we're going to go across to James. He's got another amazing little carnivore with him, and I'm going to jack the front of the car up to lift us off quickly. We'll be back hopefully a little later, and we'll try to get back on the tracks of those wild dogs.
Hello everyone. I can only imagine the frustration, excitement, and profound noise that Brent is making as he tries to get out of the stuck and mired position in which he finds himself. I'm sorry about that, but you have come to us now, and we're looking at some dwarf mongoose, and I'll keep in the theme of the wild dogs. So if we can just go back to the mongoose while I talk about them. They are very similar to wild dogs in their social structure. They have an alpha pair which will lead the little group, and normally only the alpha pair will breed, and if the beta pair or if the secondary pair does breed, often the alpha female will kill the babies of the secondary female, which is quite interesting. Very similar to wild dogs. That's where these sort of similarities end. They don't tend to go coursing through the bush after impala. I've never seen a pack of dwarf mongoose take down an impala or a steenbok or something like that. But very similar social structure. I've also never seen a wild dog sitting on top of a termite mound like this lot is. So they've just come out of their holes. They're very, they live a very sort of continental European lifestyle, these dwarf mongoose. They don't get up before it's well warm and the sun is up, and they spend a leisurely hour or so on the on the pinnacle of the termite mound like this, enjoying the sun's rays and aloe grooming each other, which I suppose is the equivalent of a Frenchman getting out of bed for his croissant and coffee at about 10 o'clock in the morning and then going for a massage. That's basically what's going on here. And then during the day they wander about and find things to eat, which is also, I suppose, quite a Parisian thing to do, wander about, see what you can see, and sit at the odd cafe. And then as the evening comes, this is where the similarity changes. They will generally be found exactly where they are now at sunset, just before the sun goes down. And as the sun disappears, so they will disappear into their little mound, away from any of the predators of the night. That, of course, is not the same for the continental European, who will normally have his dinner at about 10 o'clock at night. So, some similarities to us and some to wild dogs. They'll just start to get moving now and wander off and see if they can't find some insects to eat. They'll eat eggs, they'll eat reptiles, they'll eat solifuges and little spiders and insects and anything else that they can get their little paws and teeth into. There's one coming right around the front of us. Phil, I don't know if you can see him. He's on the log, just in front of the car. I don't think you're going to get him. I think he's too far in front. He's now going to dash across the road. He's thinking about it carefully. Oh, there they go. So they're in the base of this little combretum tree here, Phil. You can see them there now. There they go. There we go. Sitting on the logs there. The other little one there, the one remaining on the termite mound, I think, is a youngster, deciding whether to be brave or to stay at home. Here he comes. Quite sweet. He's coming down the termite mound now, exactly as the others did, and he's lining up with that little log in front of the car, looking at me, and now he's going to make a dash across the road. Here he goes. Come on. There he goes. And they'll stay. Obviously, they can't see each other all the time because they're a bit short. And he's just going into that little bush there. Yeah, they've all disappeared now, I'm afraid. So what happens is that they will stay in auditory contact all the time. So they'll shout at each other and make little twittering noises throughout the day. Again, a bit like wild dogs when they're on the hunt, and they'll stay in olfactory contact as well. So they'll mark areas and leave little scent trails that they can follow with each other. Okay, we're going to carry on down the road a bit and see what else we can find. While Brent attempts to unstuck himself. I'm going to have a great time teasing him about that. No doubt he will have a great time teasing me about the fact that all I managed to find today was a couple of dwarf mongooses. So we drove this road early this morning in search of the lion tracks, which we didn't find. Go again. And there was nothing here. There's still nothing seemingly over here. So it's just not Phil and my day for big and hairies. But it is a beautiful day. Very crisp winter's day. I've taken one layer off and my woolly hat. But there's still a bit of a nip in the air. Unusual unplug myself. Tell you what, it's not simple getting out of the vehicle here. Now this rather attractive tree is called Oseroa spherocarpa. Lots of ways of warming your mouth up in the morning, and one of them is to say Oseroa spherocarpa 150 times. It's called the velvet raisin. I think it's called a velvet raisin. No, it's not. It's called a resin bush. Sorry, the velvet resin bush. And it's got a very velvety feel to it. Very soft. And they produce lovely little sort of black fruits in the summertime, like currants. Like sort of dried out currants, but they're very sweet and delicious. Unfortunately, nothing at the moment. So we will have to go hungry until we get back to camp. My stomach was growling earlier. It is now roaring like a lion. Still no sign of Brent, I'm afraid. There's something to eat, actually. I'm going to try it. Now, some of you may or may not have seen me do this last time, and I promised I would try it again because I'm told by many people in the area that this is a great thing to eat. It's the sort of, it's not a termite mound, but it's the tunnels of a termite that builds up trees. And I'm told this is extremely nutritious. I remain unconvinced, however. So you can see there where the tunnels from the termites are. And what they do is they're very light intolerant. So they build that. They build their own little tunnel up there. They'll eat the wood that they need, and then they'll sort of move on. So it's kind of like a mobile home, if you like, unlike the permanent mound, like that one behind us, or the one that the mongoose were on. Right, so here we go. Now, you see, I just don't really understand what the appeal is. I suppose it's a little different from real normal soil. Here's some normal soil. Yeah, not much different, I must say. No, I will keep trying. Excuse me. I have seen people fight over something like that because of the, I don't know, maybe they've just used to it from when they're young. People around the world do eat some odd things. That's definitely one of them. Right, on we go. It's always useful to let the handbrake down when you're trying to drive off. Good news is that Brent seems to be out of the mire, but bad news is that the dogs haven't waited for him. So we'll wait and see if he manages to find them again. I think he's also quite far away from where we are now. So I'm not sure how good his signal will be. But I believe you had an incredible sighting of them. So this apparently is a different pack of dogs, and as far as I understand, it also has a gravid female with them, i.e. pregnant heavily. And that's quite common because most of the packs will give birth in the winter in the Kruger. Very few will give birth outside of the sort of June, July, August period. Mainly June, July. Back here, very nice. There are two things in this tree, one of which has just flown away. I'm trying to, very frustrating. Then now Phil, in the same tree here, now the sort of the closest, deadest branch that we have, there's an ant nest. You see it there? No. Yeah, we go, well done. You got him. Good job. And that's an ant nest, and the ants carry a whole lot of soil up and build themselves a safe haven there at the edge of an acacia tree. I'm not entirely sure what kind of ants they are. I'm just going to have a quick look and see if I can't find them. But I mean, there are so many thousands of different ant species that to be able to find the exact one is almost impossible, unless you are of some sort of insect person of no ill repute. I've just forgotten the entomologist. There we go. Escaped me for a second. I can't see any pictures of it in this little book. But ants really are quite remarkable with their termite cousins. Well, they're not even cousins. I mean, they're so distantly related from each other. Yeah, I don't know which ant that is, I'm afraid, but it is definitely probably called an acacia ant. Okay, we're going to go across to Brent. I think he has something exciting. Go, bye-bye, see you just now.
Welcome back, guys. It looks like my wild dog luck is on.
I believe you're back with us now. Sorry, Brent is deep terra incognito, and I'm not sure what the status of his car is. But here we are. We're going to try and get back to him now. You may see me again just now. See you. Bye bye.
Okay, so sorry, we're back. We have been through a bit of a bad signal area, trying to find these dogs again. We found them again. They are heading back towards the dam where we last saw the alpha female. So it is possible they are making their way. They've done their sort of patrol around.
We're live again. Sorry about that. As I say, Brent is far away in the west. So just a few minutes left of drive. I'm not sure how much consistency you're going to get with the dogs anymore, but I'm glad you've had a good sighting of them. We may have to just try and find them again in the afternoon. So we're at the southwestern boundary again. And while Brent tries to find the dogs, I'll try and answer some of the questions that you have about the dogs. Maggie in Kansas. You've got a question about aloe grooming. It's a good question. Let me just stop here for a second. You want to know, will the dogs groom each other to clean the blood off their faces? Absolutely they will. You won't find, so after a kill they'll be covered in blood and gore, which is a bit disgusting, but after a while they will definitely clean each other off, and so if you saw them at a kill in the morning, it'd be highly unlikely that there'd be any blood on them come the afternoon. Thank you for that, Maggie in Kansas. Not many wild dog there, I can't imagine. We're going to head back to Brent and just see what happens. You might have to come back to me straight away though, but we're going to try and finish off with the dogs. Okay, now if you don't see me again, thank you very much for being around and for all your questions and contributions. And we're going to go back to Brent, and I may or may not see you later. Bye bye.
Welcome back, guys. We're just back with the wild dogs, and they're now heading back to where we saw that pregnant alpha female earlier, and we're getting really close to the Arathusa Dam. So I think some of the guests who might be having breakfast already might enjoy the wild dogs from the comfort of their chairs. So we're going to try to stay with them, see what happens. They might go for a drink. Welcome. Hold on for a second, guys. I'm going to have to zoom around. Try to get them before they get out the other side. Katrina would like to know, does the amount of blood on their face signify what rank they are in the pack? Not at all, Katrina. Wild dogs, unlike a lot of animals, there's very little sort of social status apart from the alpha pair, and they will feed extensively and together. There's a impala coming. Quickly, Andrew, this side. Got it. They're coming straight towards us. They're after those impala. Quickly. They're not looking too serious about that hunt. I think that was just more of an opportunistic chase. But wasn't that exciting, guys? It's incredible. So we're going to stay with them. It's going to be interesting to see if they head back now towards where we saw that alpha female, which was just to the sort of southeast of the Arathusa Lodge. They might stop for a drink. They've been running quite a lot. Isn't this been an amazing morning? I know we didn't get to see a kill, but still, even you saw how they immediately the pack split and started running like that in that formation. I got so excited I forgot to pick up my camera. So guys, we are going to extend a little bit over time just to see what happens here for a few minutes. And we've got a question from Debbie in Cape Town. Debbie would like to know what happens to a dog, an alpha dog that gets too old. And we've got some hippos behind them. It looks like, as I said, they're going to stop for a drink and a lie in the water. Wild dogs do that quite often to cool off. I'm just trying to try get into position. And you watch how nervous wild dogs are around water. Sorry, Debbie, I will get to your question in a second, but let's just enjoy this amazing sighting we're having here. So Debbie would like to know what happens to an alpha dog when they get too old. Well, Debbie, they normally will probably get killed by another predator because they're a bit slow, or get in that injury, get left behind. And then it's quite interesting. That's quite often can be the end of a pack and a new pack forming. Oh, guys, Andrew, there's a whole herd of impala walking straight towards the dogs. Guys, this is why I love wild dogs. It's just constant excitement. See how they've moved off slightly to the left? So there's branches in front of them. There's impala, a whole herd of impala to the right. I think they've spotted the dogs, unfortunately, though. The impala are not sure what's going on yet. They haven't taken off. So slightly to the right of screen between the two trees, you'll see there's a herd of impala. No, they're going to keep, some of them look like they might keep coming. They said they're not looking like they're seriously hunting. If they happen to come across something, they're chasing. But I don't see that distinct ears down when they want to hunt. And I think the impala seem to be able to sense that as well. Stay with them a bit longer. The impala have taken off, and one dog is showing a little bit of interest, but they are heading right towards where that female was that we saw first this morning. So we'll give it a few minutes. It looks like they might be sniffing to where the other members of the pack might have moved off to. So I bumped into Sean, who was there with us now, and he said there were 11 dogs this morning that they saw. I didn't get a chance to ask him whether the floppy-eared one was also there. Just gonna give it another minute or two to see what's happening. They're milling about, sniffing, probably trying to find the scent from the other pack member, excuse me. So this is the area where here we go, a bit of fun and games. Oh, they've got a piece of impala leg. This is where they killed that impala this morning. The one's got a leg, not much meat on there. I think that's more for fun and games than anything else. So this must be where the kill was this morning. Actually, I can see that some more of the carcass there now. So this is going to be quite interesting. You see what a pack of wild dogs leaves behind. Now that is a fresh kill from this morning. Oh, look at those two having a little wrestle over the leg. And I said that's more fun and games. There we go. The joy of life. And there's one got the skin. So this is just playing now. There's no real meat left on it. Oh, isn't this fantastic? With Africa's second most endangered canid. And we're privileged enough to be able to sit here with this pack. Oh, it looks like lots of fun and games going on. You can see here, this one's with what's left of the carcass, and that is a fresh kill. So you can see how quickly, and that will be in under 5 or 6 minutes. A pack this size will basically take that down to skin and ribs and a skull. Absolutely fascinating animals. And there's a bit of tug of war going on over a leg over here. There we go. Who came away with it? There we go, there's the tug of war coming out of the bush. So I said this isn't really for food, they're just playing at the moment. They will eat what little bits they can get off, but so lots of stuff going around us at the moment. That is the wonderful thing about dogs, they're so incredibly active. Hyperactive, like me. Anna-Marie is asking, what is the, oopsie, the dogs go past? Average weight of a full-grown wild dog. I'm just gonna have a look. The last of them are gonna pop off here. Here we go. And one more to come. Anna-Marie, the full-grown weight is probably around 40 kilograms, 45 kilograms for a big adult male dog. Guys, it's been such an exciting morning. I have literally been on the edge of my seat since we found these wild dogs. I know there's a lot of other questions. Hopefully I can get to some of them this afternoon on the sunset safari. I'm definitely going to try find these guys again. Hopefully they stay within our Travis area. Really interesting stuff happening. It's denning time. But thanks very much for joining James and myself on the sunrise safari. I know you would have had a splendid time with Commander Bond, as entertaining as he is. But I'm so excited to have spent time with these wild dogs. So we're going to bid you adieu. Have a fantastic rest of your evening or morning, wherever you may be in the world. And we'll see you for the sunset safari. Cheers for now.